Good morning, everybody. Just finished a workout. It is 7:30. I have been on the treadmill for an hour and a half. I am freezing. It's 58 degrees here. Fall has definitely arrived in Charlotte. And I'm headed back home to get showered up. I got a heavy work day today, so I'm probably not going to be too exciting. However, had a good night of sleep. I am rested up. And we are back in the swing of things today. Good morning. Welcome to another day on the daily vlog. And I'll check back in with you. I think today is going to be a liquid diet for me. I'm trying to do I'm trying to do the most anti-inflammatory stuff, if you will, that I can do today. And so I think that may be what my plan is. But I'll check back in and let you know what's going on and what I get into.
Morning vlog. Happy Monday.
Hello
it's
again.
Me. We are at the storage unit. We realized we need a few things to pick up, and I'm going to keep this intro really short and sweet. But happy Monday. I think I'm going to do a water fast today. That is my plan. When we were living in Charlotte in the month of August, we were doing water fasts every Monday, and I really liked how I felt doing that. So today is just going to be water, and I'm going to have some coffee. But Michael needs a few things from the storage unit to do work for the week. There's a couple things we need to pack. It is colder here in Charlotte.
You got my long sleeves on?
Than we expected, and all we have is Caribbean clothes. So I thought while he looks around for the clothes and the work stuff he needs, I'll show you some things in our storage unit.
Right.
Happy Monday. It's not going to be an exciting vlog today. Today is not going to be a fun travel day, but if you're here for the digital nomad content, today is just kind of a reshuffle of the moving parts.
It's part of the journey.
I've already picked out what I need, but I thought I'd give you a little panorama of what we've done in our storage unit. This is Michael's clothes, shoes, and accoutrement.
Yeah.
Over here is this camera pan's so slow. I've got to ask Emmy how to change that setting. These are like holiday decorations that are sentimental. Our plan is whenever we're in town to get out a box of holiday stuff and go through it and figure out what are we storing that we don't truly love. About 11,000 wooden IKEA hangers because we've donated so many clothes. We don't have them anymore. These are decorations, crafts, cool things, hobbies, a couple sentimental things in those boxes. This is a box of paper products that we had bought and collected and have just been carrying with us as we leave Airbnbs. Skincare and shower stuff. And then here's all of my clothes. I've got twice as many as Michael. That's coats, sweaters, short sleeve shirts, dresses, casual shirts, tank tops. This bag is our scuba gear. Currently it's pretty much empty. Then I have down here shorts, pajamas, bathing suits, pants, and all of my shoes on the very bottom. It actually looks super messy. It's very much more organized than it looks like it is. Although we had it in ship shape, like super duper organized. And then at the last minute, we had to dump off a bunch of unexpected things here. So this needs some TLC. There's something in there that's leaking, and I had to have it wrapped up. This right here needs a little bit of organizing. But otherwise, these two tables, we keep them open so that when we come in, we can just set our stuff down and start unpacking or repacking it. This is how we're doing it. We're kind of just living out of a storage unit right now, and I'm loving it. All right, storage unit was a success.
Yep.
We did not find the notebook Michael needed.
It's okay. I think I must have just unpacked it last night in a flurry and missed it.
But it's Monday, and it has now been about 11 days since we saw a chiropractor. So we have just pulled up at our favorite chiropractor here in Charlotte. We've talked about him many times over. It's a walk-ins only situation, which is great. And we can't wait to see him. He's a big fan of cruises, so we'll have a lot to talk about today. Forgot to tell you Abra came along with us, but she's just been sleeping in the back.
Well, we just had a successful visit, or I did, more than Julie did. I was told to go on more cruises for my adjustment.
Yeah, you've never adjusted so easily.
But Julie told you about her neck a few days ago. Well, that has not went down. It's actually swelled a little bit.
Yeah.
She was told to ice some.
I laid in the pool chair, which I shouldn't do that. I know I shouldn't just lay for hours, but I was reading my book and I was having such a good time.
She was right into it, yeah.
And I was laying on my stomach, which is like the worst position you can ever put your neck in. And I don't know if you were here for the cruise vlogs, but the headache that I had Saturday night was so bad. I didn't know if I was going to be able to carry on.
I know.
And it's been pretty intermittent ever since, kind of bad. So we knew we had to get to the chiropractor as early as we could this morning. He adjusted my neck. I do feel a little better. but he said I had swelled so much for having waited 2 days to get an
Yeah.
adjustment. So we're definitely going to come back.
We'll have to come back, yeah, another day this week. I'm glad you feel better. Usually we come away with a little bit of a headache. It's just that our nervous system has been kind of reset. So Julie's got a little bit more of a ways to go to kind of get back to neutral.
Another thing we forgot to update the vlog on yesterday, when we landed and we picked up our Jeep from the express pass that took care of it, they had let both the batteries in the Jeep. I guess there's 2 batteries in a Jeep, we're learning?
Well, yeah, this Gladiator has a main and an auxiliary battery. And the main one, I guess they let kind of run down and it hadn't charged, but it has been fine on us. I will say, I think the auxiliary battery apparently, again, I'm not a mechanic. I've been reading about this, might be going bad because things like the automatic stop-start is not working and the
air
AC
conditioning's not working.
But otherwise, the truck is running. So
it
the
works
main
fine.
battery,
It's just the dash panel doesn't work.
It's nice that it's only 65 out too, so we don't have to have the climate right now. And it is a soft top if it gets too terribly hot. But yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful day in September in North Carolina.
I feel so much better having been adjusted. It is now almost 11 a.m. and Michael's got a lot of work to do to catch up from having been off work for a whole week. So we're going to head home and probably not do anything else interesting today.
I know, right?
But we will. I am water fasting. I am going to have some coffee. I'll show you.
I'm going to as well. I'm liquid fasting, so a little bit different. But yeah, I think we didn't have any coffee. We wanted to get out and get our errands done before we got back in and settled down, so that's where we are to next. We're still doing laundry, still catching up. Again, this is just things as you're a digital nomad you kind of do and get caught up as you can.
Okay guys, it is 1:30. I was all set to come home from the chiropractor and take a nap, but I ended up reading my book and almost forgot that this little girl has an appointment at the VET at 2 o'clock. We have to get the ball rolling on some paperwork for her. She does not know that's where we're going, so I don't want to say out loud where we're going. She'll know what I'm talking about. But I almost forgot that we have this appointment, so I've got to get to that. Number one, my headache is almost completely gone. The one that I've been fighting since Saturday night. We have a fantastic chiropractor, and I've been taking it easy and trying to be very careful how I hold my head for the last couple of hours, but things are good there. Michael found the thing that he needed for work in his luggage. We didn't have to go to the storage unit this morning after all. He had already gone through all of his luggage from top to bottom and thought he didn't have this, I think it's a notebook he was looking for. He couldn't find it anywhere. We went to the storage unit, tore everything apart, wasn't there. He found it, that's good to go. And this is I have not been drinking enough water today. While I was reading my book, I started drinking coffee, which I drink coffee, bone broth, and tea, anything that's essentially no calories, no carbs. I started drinking coffee while I was reading my book and totally forgot I'm supposed to be water fasting, which means I need to drink enough water. So I chugged one of my Star of the Seas bottle of water. I don't know how much I don't think this is a full liter, maybe. It doesn't say. But I chugged one. I'm going to try to drink the second one. So we are off to the VET. She has a Bordetella that expires here pretty soon. We need more flea and tick medicine for the next 6 months. We get it 6 months at a time so we can travel. And she needs to look into her paperwork to immigrate to another country, possibly. So I'll let you know how things check out here in a little bit. Okay everybody, we are home now. I wanted to update you on how the vet appointment went. It went great. Abra is a patient. I'm just going to tell you, if you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, she's a patient at Armstrong Animal Clinic, and they are the best vets we've ever met, ever across the globe. They are so fantastic. But we are starting the paperwork process to take her international next week. It is not cheap to do that, and it can be just a little bit stressful to do that because there's a lot of things that the vet has to do, but Armstrong has handled everything. That's been really great because last year when we were living in Florida, we took her to the vet before we took her to Colombia, South America, and the vet got the process started, but we had to handle everything on our end as far as sending the health certificate, but it was on us to send it to the USDA and get it back in time, which was very stressful because we were also in the process of going from Florida to North Carolina before going to Colombia, so there was changing of addresses, and they had misspelled some things. It was kind of a nightmare, and I wish I had vlogged it more for a learning opportunity for other people who might be doing the same thing. But Armstrong handled everything today. They will handle sending it to the USDA, and then we just go basically back and pick up the paperwork that says, yay, your dog is good to go. She did have 3 vaccines that were expiring this month, so we got her up to date on those. Her rabies was given a year ago in September, and it's good for 3 years, so she's good on that. Got her another 6 months of her heartworm and dewormer pill. Is it dewormer or heartworms? I can't remember. Simparica is what she takes. So she is good to go, and she's kind of worn out now. She gets super nervous about going to the vet, but they are so sweet with her. They just pick her right up and lavish love on her and attention and gave her some treats. She behaved super well. And then for a little treat, we went to Michael's afterwards. I got some cards that I'm going to send out. I showed you those. We have not gotten any Amazon packages yet, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs now because I'm excited to write little thank you notes and send all that out. I'm hoping I can do that tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll try to get it all done by Wednesday. But also, I wanted to say while I'm thinking about it, we had a lot of really nice comments come through on our cruise videos, and we have not responded to any of those, which is kind of uncharacteristic for us. We usually respond to comments pretty fast. But Michael and I have decided we would really like to sit down together and go through all of the comments from the cruise videos and respond to them on camera and go through one by one and each give our response back. So we will be typing a response to all of those questions, and we'll also be making a video out of it because we wanted to share some of the nice things that people have said. We are hoping that we'll be able to film that video on Sunday. Tomorrow is the day Michael's mom comes in to visit, and we're going to be pretty much preoccupied spending time with her. She leaves on Saturday. So we're hoping on Sunday morning we can go get a coffee somewhere and take a look at all those nice comments and respond back to all of you guys, and also make a video and share the nice things people have said, because it's really made us feel great this week. It's 4 o'clock. This always happens to me when I do water fasts. I forget to even drink water. I totally forget. My brother and I have this weird thing, and my grandpa had it too. I'm not sure if it runs in the family or what, but we don't really ever feel thirsty. Like, we have to have eaten way too much salt or sugar or be super dehydrated before we ever even start to feel thirsty. I didn't realize it was a thing until my brother pointed it out, and then my brother's wife is the one who traced it back and found out my grandpa used to be the same way too. It never dawns on me to drink water, no matter how long I've been outside. I know that I need to drink water, so sometimes I will just drink water because I remember that I need to, but for the most part, I just don't really ever feel thirsty. And that's been a problem, and one of the reasons why I've wanted to implement more water fasts in my life. I thought maybe if I just start drinking water when I get hungry on those days, then I will actually remember to drink enough water. But actually that doesn't really work either, because when I'm on a water fast, I don't even feel hunger. It's almost like my stomach is like, we're fasting today, we're not even gonna bother waking up, and so I don't feel hunger either. So that has not been a success with attempting the water fasts. But last year, Michael and I were doing longer fasts. We did quite a few 2 and 3 day water fasts. That is too much for me. I don't care to do it for that long. But this year, back in May, we tried it a few times, and then in the month of August, we were doing it every Monday, and we really find that it makes us feel pretty good to have a whole day of nothing but water. I also would we don't have any tea right now, but I would allow myself to make tea with nothing added. I drink black coffee or this reconstitutable bone broth that I have that are all basically carb-free, negligible calories. So. But I always forget to drink water when I'm on a water fast. I know that's not
6 o'clock. It's been a short day, but a long day.
The day flew by. I feel like we've been so busy and we haven't really done anything.
I know, that's what I mean, yeah.
We're just going to end the vlog here so that I can edit it. We're not going to be doing anything else exciting tonight. But there was one comment that came through this morning that I really wanted to go ahead and answer, even though I said we were going to wait and do all of our cruise comments this weekend.
Okay.
But this one is from a new friend on our channel named Dara O'Malley.
Hi, Dara.
Hi, Dara. I've watched some of her videos. She does She does cool videos where she's like me, trying to use up the products that she has. But she does way more than just makeup. She does. She got sunscreen and everything.
That's awesome.
Dara left a comment, and I wanted to answer this because it seemed like it might be time sensitive.
Okay.
She said, I have been loving your cruise videos. Thank you for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you could add into a video or a segment where you talk about cruises in general, how to select one, what to know before your first cruise, etc. I've never been on a cruise, but it's something we've been considering for a while now.
Okay.
I should probably say we may not be the best people to ask this question to. I've only been on 4 cruises, and Michael's been on 2, and they've all been with Royal Caribbean. But we can plug Royal Caribbean here for a little bit if you want to, why we think they're so great. We've watched a lot of other YouTube videos and vloggers on pretty much all the other cruise lines that go out of Port Canaveral, which is where we used to live. So we feel like we know a lot about Royal, but I don't know if I could necessarily break it down for you and compare them to other cruise lines.
So, Dara, I would tell you, first, I always tell everyone, do your own research, absolutely. This is kind of where we landed. I didn't want anything super extravagant, and I didn't want anything, bottom line. And so we ended up at Royal. Juliet had a good experience with that. And so I would say do research and then find what's in your budget. And do you like shows? Do you like casino? Do you like playing trivia? And just see which ship has the best of all of those worlds. I think we found it.
Yeah. There are a lot of cruise vloggers out there, and I would highly recommend looking on YouTube for content. I have never been on a different cruise line, but I have gotten like vibes from different cruises just based off the YouTube content that I've watched so much. I've watched tons of Disney cruises, tons of Carnival cruises, Margaritaville cruises. Those are the kind of Port Canaveral staples there. I've never watched any Norwegian or Princess, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure where you would be wanting to take what port that would kind of affect what cruise lines. But I've watched a lot of Royal cruises, and then I've been on some Royal cruises. And I feel like for the age that we are, we're both in our 40s, by the way, so that may affect your decision. But for the age that we are, Royal Caribbean provides tons and tons of fun that is age appropriate. It doesn't feel like you're on a cruise that's framed for maybe people much older or for people, we don't have kids, people who do have kids. It's a really nice a balance of being adult-themed entertainment without having like the amount of party that we're not really party people. So I think Royal Caribbean for us is perfect in that respect. But I would definitely say you're right. Do your own research and watch a lot of YouTube videos, and maybe there's another cruise line that's better for you. But
we even watched the cruise line vlogs. They have their own channels as well, just to kind of get perspective from as many different viewpoints as we can. We want to see the good, we want to see the bad, and we want to make an educated guess that is best for us. So I think we did that, and
I think we showed pretty well. There's so much more to do on Royal though that we didn't do. We don't get the drink package, so we don't drink. I can't speak to that. We don't really gamble. We tried for like 10 minutes, but we're not really gamblers. So there may be other cruise lines that have better things to offer in those respects. But as far as the gym, Michael was wowed by the gym. I felt like the entertainment was above and beyond top notch. A lot of these performers are young people, maybe in their 20s, and this might be as high as they think their career is ever going to go. And they really put their heart and their soul and everything they have into their performance, and it shows. It really shows. The ice skating show was phenomenal. The show in the Aqua Theater, which was kind of like dancing and circus and acrobatics and gymnastics, was incredible. I'm not a huge Back to the Future fan, but I thought the show was just phenomenal, amazing. There's trivia, if you like that, all day on the sea days.
Karaoke. Doing pianos. And it's even set by genre. You go into a place, you may feel too old for it, you may feel too young for it. So you have a large variety of music even on the ship. So I don't know what you're looking for in a cruise, but if you're looking for the kinds of things that we like to do, I think you couldn't ask for a better cruise than Royal unless you're literally wanting to go to like Europe or Alaska or do one of those cruises that isn't Port Canaveral. They do a good job of explaining to you in the details what the excursion will include. So I will say, again, you have to do your reading on that part and make your choices. What do you want to spend and what do you want to do? There's a variety. It was very well laid out. It was.
The other part of her question is, what should I know before my first cruise? It's a good question.
You need to be prepared to realize you're on a boat. And I know that sounds simplistic, doesn't it? But they try to take all that away when you get on that ship. But there will be times, I told Julie yesterday, there would be bouts where I would feel like I was still on the ship. And we weren't, right? We were here.
Do you
we
have
were back in Charlotte.
vertigo or nausea or dizziness?
Yeah.
And come prepared for that. And also recognize that there's differences in where you book your room. We were on the lower end of the higher levels that had rooms, but the lower you go on the ship, the worse it gets. And then if you are in a room that's all glass with windows, if you have vertigo, that can be bad. So take your meds with you. If you have anything that you need to take for that, would be my first. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me that kind of helps both ground me and then I cannot think about it too much is when you're at a sea day and you've got a 360-degree view of nothing.
But water.
Nothing but the horizon of the planet. You're going, there is water everywhere. And if something goes wrong, so you really have to think about that because you have to think, am I mentally in a place where I can realize that, but I can stay grounded and be practical. That is something you kind of have to. And I told Julie the first time we ever cruised together, I was like, this is trippy. This is really trippy because if I think too hard about it, I might get uncomfortable, right? But
just be prepared for that too. It's a little odd to be out and all you can see is ocean in all directions. I can't imagine taking a cruise across the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh goodness, no. And then I would also say, be prepared to know you cannot do it all.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't matter what size of ship you're on. You're just not going to be able to do it all.
Everything that we vlogged was like saying yes to one thing and no to really 5 other things. Like if you want to go to this show, you can't do this karaoke or you can't do this trivia that only happens in one time on the ship. There is never a moment where there's not it seems like 20 things going on at one time. And there's no way to do it all. So you just take your breakfast and look at the schedule and decide what you can comfortably do, and don't forget to pencil in some breaks.
I like to make the first couple of days heavy on activity, knowing that depending on country, the ports that you're going to go to, sea days, that as we get toward the end, maybe, Julie and I did this, maybe you want to become more leisurely. Maybe you start to get a little bit tired because you've been to multiple port cities that you just want to take it easy. But you're saying, well, if I don't make this 8 o'clock show for the theater, I won't get to see it. So I try to make my first couple of days a little heavier on activity.
Yeah. Don't put things off to the end of the cruise.
Don't. Yeah.
From the day you get on that ship, if they do your show, which in our case was Back to the Future, if they only do it 2 or 3 times, go ahead and knock that out early. You're going to get tired. Towards the end of the week, that last day we were on the cruise, I was tired.
I was too.
We just laid in the sun all day reading, and there's no way to do it all. You have to accept that and be okay with that, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Pack plenty of sunscreen. Make sure it's reef safe if you want to get off the boat.
That's true.
But things are expensive on the boat if you have to buy them if you lose them. So be sure you pack.
We have seen sunscreen for one container upwards of $30 before US. So that's Julia's right. You pack what you need, and for us that even meant snorkels, goggles, and fins. And so yes, they will sell it to you. They absolutely will. But if you can, rent it to you. Sorry, rent it to you. If you can stand it, you can pack it. You should prepare to
go to Target and get a couple of those ducks from the dollar section. People love the duck game. I don't quite understand it.
I don't either.
We're Jeep people and we like cruises, and we still don't really quite understand the duck thing. But people love that, and it's so fun to play this like little perpetual hide and seek. Yeah. Especially if you have your YouTube channel now, and so you could do like we did and write the name of your channel on the bottom of ducks or something, or put a little piece of paper with your duck. But people love playing that game. We found some teeny weeny tiny ones. I saw some today in Michael's Arts and Crafts. The ducks were like this big. That would be so fun if you do have kids. It'd be so fun to hide that in the kids section where they can't miss it. Make their day.
Hey, yeah, and you're bringing me to my next point. Julie brings up a good point. I'm going to use that phrase for the food as well, because I think everyone believes you don't get your money's worth if you don't go and indulge, and I mean that in every sense of the word. If it's activity, if it's excursion, if it's food. And Julie made it a point to say on this cruise she wanted to see, well, can I do it this way? If I wanted to be carnivore for 7 nights, could I do it?
Whatever your diet is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, she chose that. I chose, can I be animal based? But I'm going to tell you guys on a daily basis, how am I feeling? What do I want to do? Do I want to treat myself or not? So I'm saying, again, just having an idea rather than, well, when I get there, I get there. I'm not saying there's not an attractiveness to that, but I think just having a good basic set of goals, even if the goals are, I'm going to eat at the Windjammer 3 times a day, or I'm going to have 5 ice cream cones, I think that at least helps yourself or keeps yourself a little bit in check.
Yeah. I had told myself all week, because it's not easy when you're walking past the buffet and everything looks so good and you want it all 3 times a day, 4 times a day, dining, free hamburgers here, free tacos there, ice cream everywhere. It's not easy to just walk past it all and know that if you just can't spend 7 days eating like crazy. I mean, I can't.
Well, you can, but I can't.
But I just told myself the whole cruise, I'm going to stick to the rules that I made for myself for the first 5 days. Well, technically 6 days that I'm on this boat. Mm-hmm. But on the 7th day, whenever I pass an ice cream cone and I'm like, man, I really want that right now. I'm like, nope, I can put that off till Saturday. And then whenever I would pass a cheesecake or something and I'm like, I really want this so bad right now. I'm like, nope, I will eat that on Saturday. Well, Saturday came. And it was like, well, I can't eat it all in one day. But I didn't feel like I had missed out on anything. It was just, this is my one chance to try whatever I didn't try. And I was super happy that I actually had spent the whole week feeling really, really good, so that I only had one day. And I had learned a few things in the course of that week, like the fact that every day has different sugar-free options, but there are multiples. So I was able to try lots of different things on Saturday instead of just saving it all for like one dessert. And then we found out about the gluten-free pizza throughout the week. So on Saturday, I ate 2 entire pizzas, and I am not ashamed of myself for doing that. I feel like because I had saved it all until Saturday, I actually enjoyed Saturday more, because it felt like this is my last hurrah and I can eat what I actually really wanted the entire week. It wasn't just a grab an ice cream cone and then forget about it. It was really special because I had wanted it all week.
At least allows you to go on to the ship with, if nothing else, your own set of expectations. And that way you are not immediately blinded. And I can say that by someone, just like you going to Vegas. You're not immediately blinded by all of the flashing lights, if that makes sense. That you understand, well, even if I'm going to let myself go, this is how I'm going to do it. I think having just a generic, simple plan helps. I know it does for me. Go into, again, just a set of expectation. And if you want to fill it out like I felt it out day by day, that's great. Some days I was hungrier than others, depending on the excursion. So anyway, I think those are just a couple of quick, and again, I'm not a pro at all, but just a couple of quick things.
Those are on the fly, what come to mind.
Yeah, it allowed my second cruise to be smoother than the first cruise, and it was twice as long, the second cruise was. So
have fun. Have a good time. Wear your sunscreen. Stay hydrated. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. Just
let yourself relax, because they take care of everything for you. It's like being babysat.
Yeah, they do not do a good job, I don't think, of promoting water. And what I mean by that is, even if you go to the bar, you need to ask for a glass, not a bottle, because they're going to immediately give you a bottle if you say, I would like a water. So again, set the expectation. Get there, know where your refillable water stations are or what you're bringing onto the ship, because apparently you can bring a case of water. I didn't know this. So again, these are just little things that will make it smoother.
The one thing about Royal we noticed is you are not supposed to refill a reusable water
That was
bottle
a biggie.
for, obviously for infection control purposes. They don't want people using refillable water bottles, which really blows, because there's not that many places on the ship to get free water.
Mm-hmm.
In the Windjammer, which is the huge dining room that's open almost all of the time, there's one place on either end, so a total of two places to get water. Now you can get kiwi juice, orange juice, strawberry juice everywhere all the time. But there's water in the Pearl Cafe. There's one tap. There's 2 taps in the Windjammer, and there might have been one at the pool. There's not a lot of places to get water, so you've got to stay hydrated, and it's really easy to not drink enough water. That was kind of probably our only and biggest complaint.
Yeah, it's big enough that if you didn't make it a point to seek it out, you would simply forget about it because of everything else.
I talked about that in my last video.
That's going on at the ship. You'll see people kind of moseying up to the bar, but if you're not the one partaking in that, it doesn't translate into, oh, am I drinking my water? Which is why I deliberately brought a reusable water bottle on the ship, because I knew otherwise I would. You're just going to be out of sight, out of mind type of a thing. So that is one thing. Again, just being prepared, just thinking to yourself, how do I live my normal everyday life? Because we're going to go do this on, for 8 days, 7 nights, and think about, do I need A, B, C, D? And that's what you take with you, and you live your normal everyday life, but on a ship with a lot more amenities. So
have fun. I really hope to hear about your cruise when you take one. I hope you vlog it or tell me about it. Also, I was thinking about you today. I don't know if you saw the short that I posted, but you're part of my Project Pan friends here on YouTube, trying to use up our stuff, like I was telling you. I was so excited I started using this lipstick on the cruise. It's red, and I was so excited to see how long it takes me to use this all up. And not long, because I dropped it down in my backpack today, and at some point the magnet on the back of my phone pulled the lid off this lipstick, and it exploded, and every drop of it got all over everything I own, and it was a stain, so it stained my wallets, it stained everything I have. So
except for the camera. I did get to wipe this camera off.
Yeah, I got all over this camera too. So anyway, for my Project Pan, I am now 1 down. I got 1 empty for the month. I wanted to save the container and maybe talk about them all at the end, like I've seen some people on YouTube do. Mm-hmm. It's so covered in lip stain, it's on my clothes. I had to throw it away, and I don't even know if I can recycle that. I was trying to look into whether I can recycle a used lip product, and I couldn't get a definitive answer on that. So I'm 1 down. I don't know if you finished anything up yet, but I finished one the hard way. I hope that answered your question to the best of our ability. And like I said in another video, we got a lot of really nice comments on our cruise videos, and we want to sit down together, probably at a coffee shop, and go through them all. We've done this in the past where we read the comment and then we respond to it. But we wanted to shout out everybody who left us a really nice comment. So we're going to try to do that on Sunday, which will be Monday's video.
That is the day that we typically respond to comments, and we want to make sure we have the proper amount of time to film a video like that, because we would love to address each one individually while also commenting on the channel.
All right.
Okay.
I think we are going. It is after 6 p.m.
It's 6 o'clock, but man, we're beat.
We are tired. We are gonna just veg and watch. We have some YouTube we want to get caught up on. Our friends that have been posting things while we were gone.
Yes.
And catch up on our favorite TV. So there's nothing else interesting happening here tonight. So we're gonna sign off.
Other questions, please let us know. Yes, we will sign off for today. Not super exciting, but this is an everyday day after travel, which means catching up on errands. And,
we're not going to be super exciting this week. Your mom comes to visit tomorrow, and we'll be wanting to spend as much quality time with her as we can. We're going to visit my family with her on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
it's a big family week.
It'll be Sunday before we're doing anything interesting again, I think. But anyway.
But we still hope that you pop in and you see what ramblings we might be doing.
We're dabbling in daily vlogging for the first time, really. That's not for a specific reason. So
that's true.
Not every day can be a Royal Caribbean Star at the Seas.
We wish, right?
Boarding the world's largest cruise ship.
It's a big boat.
Yep.
It's a big boat.
Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, we appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We absolutely do, and I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you bright and early at the gym in the morning.
That reminds me, Captain Cal. I think it was Captain.
Yes,
no, Carl's Up Adventure.
Carl.
He said he loves hearing from you at 5:15 a.m.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I bet he does. Who loves it? Yeah, I know. Well, I appreciate that, and I will see you in the morning, probably around 5:15.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.